Welcome back to the Grace-Based Christian Coaching Podcast. I'm Alexandra Cavill, a certified professional coach and the founder of Grace-Based Christian Coaching, where we serve ambitious women in leadership who are struggling with limiting beliefs and overwhelm, and you want to live out your God-given purpose with confidence and with clarity. So today we're here for Friday Favorite, where I share the scoop on what I'm loving lately, lessons learned, and what I'm looking forward to, so that you can have a behind-the-scenes look of what it actually looks like as I, too, am living out my most intentional and Christ-centered life. Previously, we were doing these episodes weekly with summer schedules. It just made sense to shift it to a monthly cadence. So we will see what this looks like when the fall comes, perhaps every other week, perhaps stay on monthly cadence. But we're going to change all of that up today, and wanted to do something a little different and share a taste of a day in the life. These episodes are so fun to record, and y'all love them. And so we're changing it, and I'll share a little snippet of a day in my life recently. It was one of those days where you just get to the end of it and there's joy, there's happiness, there is gratitude. Like, it was just a good all around day, and thought that y'all might love hearing a little bit of the behind the scenes of that, what that looked like, why I think it was so fulfilling, and some different things that you can take and apply to your own life and where God is calling you. All right, so let's get into it. My girls were able to participate in Vacation Bible School recently, which is so much fun. I personally still remember doing and loving this as a little girl. And it's one of those wild moments where it's like a pinch me. Oh my goodness, my girls are experiencing that for themselves. VBS, it's so fun, but typically shorter than the half-day preschool that we're used to. So all that to say, my hours don't look the same in the summer. I was able to have space to do one longer 90-minute session this morning that unfortunately the client missed, but it meant a pivot, and let's just see. The Lord knew what does He have this morning, and just having open hands for that. So I know you might be experiencing this when something just shifts. It doesn't go like you expected, and it can throw you for a loop. But what if that didn't have to happen? What if you were able to conserve your energy for something different, for something that really needs your attention? And so with that, okay, let's elevate this. Let's make the mundane special, and pivoted and went to a local coffee shop and worked from a new environment. There's something so energizing about changing your space. Whenever you can have the chance to do that, like, take advantage. It makes a bigger difference than you think it might. So my morning ended up looking like a few different things, which were really fun and needed. It was working on grace-based Christian coaching processes and workflow. I am always looking for ways to upgrade my clients' experience. So I was able to pour into that, going through some of the things that I had learned. Maybe you can relate, have a collection of brilliant ideas and thoughts on Google Drive, and actually taking those and baking them in to be used and to be brought to life. So perhaps this is your nudge to schedule some time to go ahead and do that, because it matters. Next up, having some client conversation, follow-up, connection. I'll catch up with my clients on some certain things happening in their lives through both email and DM here and there. Some email catch-up too. It was really nice to have some time and space to do that. For a little behind-the-scenes sneak peek, one of those things is to update this very podcast, our intro and outro. So I'm working with a professional to do that. I'm so excited to incorporate that in. Just those things that you have on your list, but sometimes fall to the bottom of it. Like that's what this morning kind of was. And prep for Flourish. This week we have a behind the scenes summer session launching, and just am so thrilled. It's some of the most phenomenal women who have experienced one of our cohorts in the past coming together, and we're focusing on faith, we're focusing on community, and then we're changing it up and trying something different and doing a bit of a Q&A session. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait for these women to meet each other. All right, one of those emails, it was fun because sometimes they just come in bursts. We had a lot of recent Google reviews. So personally, I think this is always one of the most meaningful ways for prospective clients, maybe that's yourself, to understand what the grace-based Christian coaching experience gives you. I'll highlight one of those reviews right now. It is this amazing woman, Jordan Abel. She's a Flourish and Frills, and we got to work together through GSCC's group program, funny enough, called Flourish, and we're going to get to begin one-on-one coaching together soon. Her pieces are so adorable. You've got to check her out if you've not already. But this is what she said about her time in Flourish. Alexandra is such a light to work with. She set up Flourish for true success with a solid plan and structure while making us all feel comfortable and at ease as we dove right in. The 6-month cohort really focused on faith, community, and work, and the vulnerability amongst the group was commendable. I would highly recommend for someone looking to grow deeper in faith, their purpose, and work, and being surrounded by like-minded individuals for vulnerable and candid conversations. It's just always so fun to hear what stands out to the different women inside. We had a few other Flourish members share reviews too, so if this is something that you've been considering, go check it out on our Google account to learn more about what that's actually like. So this was a bit of the morning, and then afternoon looked a little different. So the way I structure my work, it's part-time, like very part-time, like 20 hours or less a week, particularly in the summer. But it's good, it's healthy, it's needed. Just remembering that we have seasons for a reason. Not everything is supposed to look the same. Growth looks different in different seasons. And so instead of fighting that, like, what would it look like to embrace that, to celebrate that, to surrender to that? So one of those things right now for me is my littles have their quiet time and nap time. And to be quite honest, I would oftentimes work on maximizing that, like how much work can I fit in this short period of time. But in the summer season for me, it's looking like, well, what does it look like to pour more into life, to really model a full, a rich, a fulfilling life from all aspects? And here are a couple of things that I got to do in that time. Me and a group of women have been getting together, just a lot of different commonalities and overlap. And we are working on learning the game of Mahjong together. And it's just been so fun and hilarious to connect on that and spend time to one another. And so coordinating that, planning to host that coming up next month. I cannot wait. You know, those things like hair appointments. You guys will have to message me if you've tried this, but one of our family members did something called Botox, so like hair Botox, and she woke up in the morning. She was staying over her house, and it was almost like a doll. Like her hair was so perfectly straight, nothing was out of place. I couldn't believe it. So this is something I want to try. I have an appointment to do that next month. Shoot me a message if you loved it or it didn't. Dinner with a mom from a MOPS group. I think it's called MomCo now, that I did years ago. I definitely, don't get me wrong, I love connections and groups of women where we get to plug in with one another, but I am such a sucker for one-on-one connection and dinner and conversation. You probably know from this podcast, just so passionate about going deep, and one-on-one dinners and chats allow us to do that. So planning that, and then my mom's coming to visit in August, and just love putting together an itinerary. And so spent some time thinking of some fun things that we can do and plan for to celebrate her time up here. Then, so spent some of the nap time doing that, and then the rest of the afternoon have been just having so much fun with my girls. Like, we are in such a sweet, sweet season with them where they are a little bit bigger. It doesn't feel like we're in survival mode anymore, praise Jesus, hallelujah. But they're little, and I just love it. Just genuinely have wanted time to slow down in a way that I haven't before. And I want to be present for that. So I love a good YouTube workout. My oldest has just, with the 3 babies back to back to back, has seen me commit to that. And since, she was 1.5 maybe, girlfriend has been doing squats with me, getting her little weights. I have like I don't even have that heavy a weights. 5 pound is the max, but I've got these little 1 pounders that she'll come and bring, and she'll put a little towel for herself and drink and just get her little setup and get my setup. It's just the cutest thing ever. So we do our little workouts together. Sometimes they will stay and hang out with me for the full 30 minutes of it. Sometimes they're in and out, which is great, but it's just so cute. And just to see them building their healthy habits alongside me. They've been very into puzzles these days. We've been doing some puzzles together, and then just made dinner and enjoyed one another's company. If you haven't found it already, I wish I could tell you guys which account it was, but on Spotify, check out Coastal Grandmother. It's such a great playlist. Thank me later, you'll love it. So again, just making things light and fun. And there was a quote, something along the lines of, your kids will enjoy their childhood as much as you enjoy your motherhood. And I just want to embrace it. Like, truly want to be present and light and have fun in ways that continue to bond us closer together. Like that's just genuinely where we are right now. It's been great. It's been really sweet. And then errands. I have a tendency to pack my days and my weeks. It's very interesting. I was more so an introvert for the majority of my life. Extroverted introvert, though, I guess you could say. But there's something about this chapter where just getting out and being with people and doing things is energizing in a way that it hasn't been. But I had a free space on my calendar, and so I got to get some errands done and knocked out on a Monday. Things like a pedicure, where I pulled, again, a coach wanting to maximize time, make the most of everything. So I brought, instead of scrolling through my phone, which just ultimately is draining, I brought a book that I'm going to be doing a Bible study with a few other women. It's called The Ministry of Motherhood by Sally Clarkson. I'm about a third of the way through. It is beautiful, like so beautiful. Looking at motherhood as a ministry, as a calling, it just will soften and speak to your heart in ways that you might not have received as a mom before. Recommend. Do some Amazon returns. I personally like to group mine. It sometimes takes a minute, but doing them every so often has just been such a shortcut for my brain, and works for our family. And then I get home, our littlest, she took a longer afternoon nap, so I got back a little late, but funny enough, the baby was still up and heard her like, "Mama," from downstairs, and we just got a special little sweet snuggle time, did some little things of her typical nighttime routine, and it was just the best way to begin to wrap down the night. And then a few other things, bought a training that evening too, which you will get to experience the fruit of that soon enough. I was joking with one of my work friends that, nice things are great. If you want a designer bag or shoes, like I get that, they're beautiful. But my personal weakness is buying learning experiences, growth, things like that. Could not love it more. And then spent some time going through, to me, the pictures, the screenshots on my phone, that is like my version of a Pinterest board. Like going through all of the different, whether it be things to do, to buy, recipes, experiences with my kids, going through all of that, it's wonderful. It is so fun, but it's also can get out of hand. There are a lot of pictures in there. And as a business owner and mom to 3 little ones and so much more, there's just not the time to do that I would like. So anyway, instead of having large chunks, I'm working on, well, what if it just looks like 30 minutes every few days? And I'm trying that approach. And then ended the evening with just a chill connection and conversation with my husband to reconnect with him. And it was awesome. So let me talk about why this day was good. But before I do that, what felt like a miss? What could have been different? Laundry. Yeah, laundry. Meant to get to that, didn't. But you know what? That's fine. It's still going to be there and it's going to get done. Did not get to my Bible reading that day, which is okay. Not ideal. I would love to do it every day because His word never returns void. The best thing that we could do. But I was able to pour in the day before, which was amazing and just so rich, as well as some Bible journaling time that I got to. So it felt felt poured up. Wish that that could have been a piece of it too, but I know that it will be the next day, right? So maybe what I want to speak to for you with that, yes, there's something so great and powerful about a challenge and committing to something every single day. But what if it looks something like, oh, here are 3 things to pick from in a certain category. And as long as I do one of these things every day, I'm going to call that a win, right? Because so many of the women I work with, at times myself too, all or nothing can actually be very draining and cut off growth too. So what can you do to maybe operate differently to encourage the momentum to continue? And that's something that I've been trying lately. So for example, if you think about it from a faith perspective, like getting into scripture, highly recommend. There's studies that show when you do that at least 4 times a week, it is drastically life-changing. Journaling, praying with others, worship music, right? Like just think about all the different ways you can interact, engage, and connect, and maybe change it up if that's what you need to keep the ball rolling, keep the momentum going. Try it out. Let me know what you think. But really what made it good, big picture, is that the day, like there's a variety of me being able to use my gifts to pour into work, to just like live a life and honor that and connect with my people, create and reflect. And a culmination of all of that was just so fulfilling to like just take a moment and notice, instead of what didn't get done, like what did happen, and celebrate that, sit in it. There's this quote that I came across as I was going through my screenshots that was just such a blessing, and I think sums up this day really well, and why it was able to be so good and so appreciated. And it was this: God's already got it figured out. It's time for you to believe that too. So I want to leave that with you. God has already got it figured out for you too, friend, and it's time for you to believe that too. So I hope this was a fun one for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'd invite you to subscribe to our email family at gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/subscribe. And what I'm so excited to offer you there, maybe even we'll do an episode on this, is a new resource called How to Seek Your Next Right Step from God. One of the biggest things that I hear from women is they want to discern where God is directing them, and they're having a hard time doing that. So this resource is going to support you with just that. There's another one too that I've got coming for you. So don't miss out on connecting there. Be sure to hit subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel if you're not already. So fun chatting with you, and I can't wait to see you back next time.